Did they really drop charges on Diddy?
This is wild. It's looking like P-Diddy is going to walk free. That's because this morning the prosecution is dropping 3 major charges against him. And you can see what those charges are right here. Former assistant U.S. attorney for the Southern District of New York said that he believes that Diddy might walk free because they don't have all of the evidence that they would need at this point, including identifying the co-conspirators and bringing them up as witnesses. Defense has now rested and said that the prosecution did not meet its burden of proof, and now it's going to be up to a jury to decide. In light of these serious charges being dropped, Polymarket, the predictive betting app, now has Diddy at a 46% chance of being found guilty, when just a couple months ago, that number was at 98%. Jury deliberations are expected to begin as early as this Friday, and many legal experts are saying that there is ample room for jurors to find reasonable doubt. Of course, people are wondering if the prosecution wasn't able to get the proper evidence they needed because Diddy has friends in high places. In the eyes of the court, it's now looking like Diddy didn't do it. But what do you think? As always, let me know down below.
What up, where's your boy Charles Brown back again talking facts? Hit that like button, hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell. Keep sending those Cashaps to CLBMG. Join the membership gang. Listen, I saw something on my feed that they dropped some charges. I'm like, what's going on, gang? I don't know. Weird stuff is happening in this case. It's all over the place. 1 week is up, 1 week is down. They got a betting site that's saying that he has a 46% chance now, when they were saying it was like high 90s that he would be convicted. Now there's a 46% chance that he might go free. This is a betting site, so these motherfuckers know something, gang. So where we're at now is, I don't know what this means. I'm gonna assume when they say they're dropping charges, they're not really dropping the charges. I have an article here to kind of try to shed a little light on it. I believe that they're trying to not focus on these charges, a certain amount of charges, but to me, gang, that's a red flag. If I'm on the jury for 5, 6, 7 weeks and you've been trying to tell me this guy is the worst, he's a trafficker, and he's this, that, and the third, and then you say, yeah, don't remember we said that? Yeah, we don't focus on that. Don't just stay focused. I'm gonna show you what you really need to pay attention to. So let's have this conversation, because it's looking crazy. If I'm a juror, you got a real problem with me at this point, because I went in thinking, like, I know he's the worst. We all know he's the worst. He beat Cassie and this, that, and the third. But this other stuff is very serious. You're talking about putting this man in prison for life. And now you're telling me 3 or 4 of these things we're not going to explain to you if he did them or not. It's an issue. Let me have this conversation. Sean Diddy Combs trial. Prosecutors no longer pursuing attempted arson, kidnapping theory. Didn't Kid Cudi go to the courtroom smoking a cigarette outside, like all nervous and shit, all anxious? Y'all made Kid Cudi get up there for nothing, and now you're not going to charge this motherfucker with this motherfucker Kid Cudi kicking the shit out that dog. Like, what the fuck? Let's go. I'm going to keep this moving, man. As Sean Diddy Combs, he ain't kicking the dog, man. Lighten up. Relax. As Sean Diddy Combs' federal trial for sex trafficking and racketeering approaches its closing arguments, the prosecution has issued a letter amending their case to the court. Gang, it's been 6 weeks. Now you're amending the case. To me, if I'm a juror, I'm like, gang, y'all have no case, because you're pulling back major parts of the reason why we're in here. You're pulling back. You're telling me you don't have the evidence anymore. Why am I in this courtroom? Why am I in this goddamn suit? The hell's going on? The prosecution is streamlining their defense against Sean Diddy Combs as the rap mogul's federal trial for sex trafficking, racketeering, and transportation to engage in prostitution, to which he has pled not guilty, completes its 7th week in session. The prosecution has submitted a letter to Judge Arun Subramanian, amending parts of their theory of attempted arson and kidnapping. Quote, the government is no longer planning to proceed on these theories of liability. What does that mean, gang? I need somebody to explain. Somebody smarter than me could explain what the government is actually going to do if they're not going to proceed on these theories of liability. So what does that mean? That's some jargon, gang. Does that mean you don't think he did it, or you can't prove he did it? Then what you put me in here for 7 weeks? Telling me to focus on the shit he did. No. I can't focus on the shit he did, because you told me he did more than that. And you got me in for 7 weeks. You made me listen to a lot of testimony. A lot of Jane Does and John Does and some freaky ass niggas came up in through here, and I had to watch and sit through this shit. And now you're telling me I was here for no reason. I don't like it. If I'm a jury, I don't like it. I don't like it. You telling me I'm not smart enough to pay attention. You telling me I need to streamline this. Why? I'm smart enough. I'm going to be here deliberating regardless. So leave it all on the table. Let me decide. Because what they think, I'm just going to be honest. This is a personal opinion between me and you. I think some of these things they can't prove. Right? Just going to be honest. Now, I'm not saying Diddy ain't an awful person. Diddy's a freaky ass nigga. He is 69. God, Diddy, freaky gang. We're not debating that. And he's a cad. He's a fiend with a fiendish plot. He moves around. He's awful. Diddy had done awful things and a lot of things people didn't deserve. He did a lot of awful, terrible things. I get that. So you need to charge him with the things that he did. But then you telling me you're pulling back on the stuff that you claim you did. You rushed into this. You rushed in. You had that man in jail for a year. Now you telling me you can't prove it. I don't like that, especially being black. I'm like, listen, it ain't about him being black, but at the end of the day, we know how this happens, how they get down on us, and we'll get charged with some shit we didn't do. And now you're telling me you can't prove it. I'm far from a Diddy supporter. I'm far from that. So we're not going to do that. But you need to make this make sense to me. I'm just going to be honest. Let me keep this moving. In addition to dropping parts of their argument of the first one count of racketeering conspiracy, the letter sought to clarify Combs' 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. I don't know what they're trying to say is that it wasn't prostitution now? 7 weeks later, it wasn't prostitution? What was it? Talk to me. We saw the guys, we saw Daddy Long Schlong and all these other dudes come up in there and say, yeah, I was there. It was baby oil and it was a whole lot more baby oil. And he made us take pictures. Like it was all this. So we know that they did this, that, and the third. These guys got paid, which is legitimate. That's the definition of prostitution. When discussing the charges in closed statements this week, the letter notes that it is imperative the jury understands that earlier consent is not determinative of whether a victim was sex trafficked, adding that the same is true of forced labor, which is the part of Combs' sex trafficking count. So they're trying to say, what I'm assuming they're trying to say, that even if you consent to that first, that can't be used as you weren't sex trafficked later because he took you somewhere, even though you did consent. So they're trying to say, even if you said you was good, it doesn't mean that he didn't traffic you, okay? Let me keep this moving. Additionally, the letter requests that the court instruct the jury that sex trafficking, labor, and payment to the victim for that conduct are not mutually exclusive. You can't mandate that to a jury. You can say to consider that, but I got my own brain. That jury got their own brain. All of them going to be like, yo, but he paid them and they wanted to go. They went. How is that a crime? So they're trying to make this jury say, no. Just because he paid them, it don't mean, low key. If in my mind, I'm thinking like, I paid this chick and she got in the car. So that's what the jury's going to think. And they're trying to tell the jury not to think that. Good luck with that, because I don't know if that's going to work. I'm just going to be honest. Right? I'm just going to be, I know we all hate Diddy and or got an issue, but that right there, I don't know if that's going to work with this jury. You're trying to tell them something, human nature. If somebody pays somebody to go do some freaky stuff and they went and did it, you can't come back and now tell me, okay, you just got sex trafficked. He's going to jail for that. The jury going to have a hard time with that. I'm just going to be honest. Let me keep this moving. Combs currently faces 5 counts in federal trial, the aforementioned counts, as well as 2 for transportation to engage in prostitution. The letter from the prosecution comes shortly after Combs' team rested their defense after only 20 minutes. The 55-year-old waived his right to testify. So Diddy did not testify, as we all know. That would have been a million memes plus one. We have discussed it thoroughly. That is my decision. Combs, who has been in federal custody since his September arrest, told the judge of his decision to not take the stand. That is totally my decision. I am making it. Right? Diddy in control of this damn trial, which a lot of times he fumbled fucking around and just doing too much. He lucky if his ass don't do a whole life in this motherfucker. Just off arrogance, just trying to control the narrative and shit. Let me keep this moving. We have discussed it thoroughly. That is my decision. Combs, da-da-da. He said, in his rare statement addressing the court, Combs, whose team has motioned for a mistrial multiple times, also expressed gratitude for how Subramanian has handled the case thus far. I'm doing great, Your Honor, Combs told the judge. Wanted to tell you thank you, and you're doing an excellent job. He's schmoozing, kissing ass, and he's trying to say, you're on my side. You're doing really good work because you're giving me a lot of things that I would lose this case if you didn't. Just gonna be honest. The prosecution submitted a filing to the judge in which they have requested to amend parts of their theories of attempted arson and kidnapping. Although Sean Diddy Combs is still facing the same racketeering and conspiracy and sex, it's hard to prove that racketeering without the people that you racketeered. So I think that's part of why some of this stuff isn't working it's not falling how they thought it would fall, and things are coming out like they thought. So I think that what they're doing is trying to make it like, oh, after we done got Kid Cudi and all these other people on the stand, we realized we didn't nail them on some of the stuff, and it's still kind of fluent. So we can't have them. Because once them things start falling like dominoes with these acquittals and this and that, well, not guilty, then it's like everything not guilty. So we're gonna be like, nah, fuck that. We can't risk that. So we're gonna streamline. They're using the word streamline. We're gonna streamline this and make it 2 charges, 3 charges tops, and then they get them on that, and then it doesn't matter if we get them on other stuff. But I think they got egg on their face. I think they might be losing this jury with all the back and forth. I'm just gonna be honest. If I'm on the jury, I'm the main holdout in there. I'll be like, yeah, I don't like Diddy either, but they sitting here, they fumbling through this case, they done staggering and done drop some charges, and it would drop. If we're using the word loosely, drop. But that's exactly what it is. And you could say, it didn't really officially drop the charges, No, in my opinion, if you're not going to pursue them, you drop them. Just going to be honest. That's how it's going to look. This is layman's terms. This ain't legal terms. It's layman's terms. If I'm on the jury, you tell me we're not going to pursue the other 3 charges, then to me, you drop them. Why? Just going to be honest. This is just how people think. It's logical. Let me know what you think in the comments. CLBMG. Let me know. Head on over to black-yeti.com. Let them know who sent you. They ship all over the continental U.S. Also, every Wednesday night, we go live on The What Show. 200 people in the chat. Make sure you say something. Let us know you're in the building. All right, I'm going to catch you on that flip side. Let me know, man. Peace.
Look, mission impossible to drop a few lines without dropping old times when Southern Hill was still a gold mine. When pistol grips was my shit and I sold mine. When Alias was not a show and they told mine. Elevate your mind with high quality THC infused products. BlackYeti.com. Black-Yeti.com.
CLB.